think that's good. There isn't much that I need to talk about, but I know I am like right here, and there's a lot of space in the second half of the video, but you know, I just feel like sitting here, I guess. There isn't much that I want to talk about. Well, actually, you know what? You know what I want to talk about? It's been a while now since I wanted to talk about this, but I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. So, what I want to talk about is ADHD and, I don't know, medicine, being a millennial, being the oldest son or the oldest sibling, being the firstborn. So, yeah. And before you start commenting, yes, I am bald. Yes, I know that. We don't need to write mean comments. Not like it's not like that. It's not like anyone's gonna watch this video anyway. But you know, don't take things that I already know. You know, so let's keep that in mind. So a couple of weeks ago, I had one of those, you know, not a meltdown, but you know, like you wake up and you know you're gonna have a very bad day. A very bad day. And it is a day off, so I'm not going to work, I don't have any obligations, I don't need to do shit. But you just know you're gonna have a bad day, even if you don't have anything planned for the day. So I just woke up and I wasn't in the mood, and I knew that my cat is gonna walk right in front of me. Can you please move on? Thank you. Okay, sure. So I wasn't having it that day, and oh my god, now you're gonna have to move on now, aren't you? Come on, come on, come on, just move on. Go ahead. Come on. Beautiful. I'm sorry. He just likes attention. So, about ADHD, an idea crossed my mind. The only way that I can actually explain my point of view of the whole, you know, condition is that imagine you have a laptop or a computer, and you are trying to download like 5 files off the internet. 5 streams of downloads, okay? Each one of these files is like 5 gigabytes. And the internet speed is already slow because you are downloading 5 things at a time, at the same time. So instead of having one item downloaded at a time, you have them all at the same time, you know, being downloaded. And think of these streams as the streams of ideas or the thoughts that you have. Meaning, I don't have a single stream of, you know, ideas. Like I need to think about like a couple of things or 3 things at the same time. That's how my brain works. Like the voice in your head, that is, you know, your consciousness, I would say. Why did I sound like that? I'm sorry, I take this back. So the consciousness it's like talking about 3 or 4 things, or you're thinking of 3 or 4 things at the same time. Even I'm talking with you guys right now, I am thinking of the kitchen, I need to clean it, and I'm thinking about what I'm supposed to wear for tomorrow because I have work to do, and you know, a lot of things. So we established that you have like 4 files or 5 files being downloaded from the internet, and the internet speed being your brain, your motor function, not the motor, but you know, your brain is already, you know, doing the most. Now you decided to open a YouTube tab to watch a video, let's say this video, but it's not loading. It's like loading a couple of seconds, then it is buffering. Then it's playing a couple of seconds and it's buffering. You give up. You decide to listen to some music. You open iTunes while the video is loading and playing in the background. You wait for the song to load, then you start listening to that song, but there is that YouTube video, me, in the background, talking for a couple of seconds, then buffering. Then talking for a couple of seconds, then buffering. That's on top of the music. Then you decide you want to read the news, which is gonna mimic, for example, studying. Let's just, pretend that reading the news is like studying or doing an important task. You try to load the page, and it's not loading because your brain is occupied with multiple things at the same time. The page loads, but it is barely readable. There are no pictures, there are no colors. They haven't loaded yet because the internet is so slow, because you are, keeping the computer busy with multiple tasks all at the same time. So you can barely read. And you're trying to guess, does this mean that? What is that? This is blurry. I can't see this. I don't understand that. And you're not doing any of these tasks efficiently. You're not downloading files efficiently. You're not listening to the music efficiently. You're not watching a good YouTube video. You're not even studying. So you spend the whole day downloading 20% of each of these files. The YouTube video is rubbish. You haven't watched it. You haven't gotten any information from it. Hasn't loaded properly, and the quality is shit. The music is unenjoyable. And you haven't read the news. You don't know what's going on. But it's already midnight, and you spend the whole day trying to, do one thing efficiently or finish one task at least. And you end up with 7 tasks that are 30% finished, maybe, if you ever get to 30% on each one of them. And that has been my life, and I relied heavily on others to organize myself subconsciously. For example, I always have a study partner when I'm studying, back in mid school and even after that when I was a GP. And when I started my residency, I always relied on having people in my life that would hold me accountable so that I won't let them down, because we need to discuss these, topics in a certain time. We have a time frame, we have a timeline, and we need to do things accordingly or according to a plan. And I'm not gonna disappoint them or let them down, because, that's the one thing that I can't, handle. I can't let people down. Being, the firstborn, that's the curse of being a firstborn, that you can't really let people down, and you are, looked up at, you are in a different pedestal or a different, whatever you want to call it. None of your other siblings can compare. They can do shit and nobody cares. They can do whatever they want. They can achieve things that they love. And your parents will be, they would be very happy and proud of them. But the firstborn, there are a set of rules and expectations that you need to follow. And if you, stray away from the path that was already formed for you, you will be looked down at, and you will be not yelled at, but they'll talk to you. They'll let you know that you can't do this. I mean, we can imagine your X, Y, and Z brother, or other people, secondborn, thirdborn, the youngest, they can do whatever they want, but the oldest, firstborn, they can't do that. We don't have the luxury of straying away, and doing our thing. You need to be an overachiever and a people pleaser. So I relied on people, and now at this time in my life, I don't think that this is a very good option or a viable option, I would say. Most of my friends are already married, busy with their work. They can organize their time. They can organize their lives. They don't need me. And quite frankly, they moved on. I mean, in medicine at least, most of my friends are doctors, so each one of them is in a different, medical field. We're talking about gynecology, we're talking about radiology, orthopedics, surgery, internal medicine. And here I am, a third year orthopedic surgery resident who was not a resident anymore. So what I did is that the residency wasn't the best option for me. I only chose orthopedic surgery because it was very competitive to get into the program, and it would make my parents very, very proud of me. And again, I am a nerd, you would say. It's not that I'm competitive, but I like a challenge. I like starting things that I don't know so I can learn more about and, try and prove myself and others that I'm really, that person. So I chose it because I scored a very good mark in the exam, and I knew right away that I made the wrong decision, but I was like, I'm a nerd, I can make it. We can do this. Let's not worry about it. First year of general surgery was perfect, didn't have any problems, but again, I love general surgery. It's orthopedics that I don't like. The second year came knocking. Actually, it fucking blew the fucking door. I wasn't. I was so hesitant actually to go on with the residency because I knew I'm not gonna enjoy it. Started the second year, there was that momentum of starting a new thing that you don't know a lot about and learning new things and enjoying yourself, doing a lot of emergency, rotations and surgery and clinic. It was nice. In the beginning, it was okay. By the end of the second year, I felt as if I was an alien that did not belong to any person or place on this earth. Felt like I am so different from others. I felt so alone even when I wasn't. I was lonely even though I wasn't alone. I would be, sitting in the middle of the ER, a busy ER. But mentally, I was so depressed. I was so sad. And I'm a very, not outgoing, but I know how to mask. I know how to pretend. I'm very good at it. I would look as if I was very happy or, doing fine. Because I was doing fine. What is that? What's going on? So when it came to exams and evaluations and stuff like that, I was top of the class. It's not a class, it's like the evaluation, the yearly evaluation. I was one of the best residents, and I had a double board certificate. I wasn't, again, an overachiever. And keep in mind, I do not like orthopedics. By the end of the second year, there was that one day I had a 48-hour shift, a 2-day shift. And the shift has just started. I haven't done anything yet. I was in the ER, I saw a couple of patients, did a couple of admissions, organized, surgeries and stuff like that. And at around, I would say 2 p.m., I felt a very strange feeling, like a heaviness. And I asked my friends, like, I need to go to my room for like a minute. And I walked so fast to my uncle room. I ran so fast there. The moment I closed the door, I entered and I closed the door, tears started pouring out of my eyes for no reason. I had no triggers, nothing happened to me. I was like gasping for air, and I was bawling my eyes out. It was one of the worst feelings, and I didn't know what was happening. And the only thing that I kept thinking about was, please, the ER, because I was covering the ER at the time. I was hoping that nobody would, no orthopedic cases, no ortho cases would show up in the ER, because I couldn't go there looking like that. I was bawling my eyes, and I was barely, breathing. Washed my face, sat for a minute, drank some water. The tears won't stop. They just simply won't stop. I called my brother. I didn't know what to do, and I can't go out there like that. And I thought maybe if I talk to someone, and if they, would figure things out together, maybe that would get me to stop crying. But the only thing that happened was making my brother freak out. he freaked out because I'm, again, firstborn, his oldest brother, and I never cry. Like I don't know how to deal with emotions. I don't understand them. I just, internalize them, I guess. I just, acknowledge that they are there, but I don't understand them. I can't feel them. And what am I supposed to do with them? So I just, bottle them. That day, let me tell you, that bottle was like a Pepsi bottle that you fucking shook the fucking shit out of, and it just blew everywhere. And I was like gasping and crying and bawling my eyes for like 30 minutes. And I had to, recollect myself because I have a 2-day shift to go through. I told him that I'm gonna, after 30 minutes, it stopped. Everything, was okay. And I went back to the ER, and I went through with the day and the next day as if nothing had happened. I went home and I just crashed. I just slept for like 12 hours, and I never sleep for that long. I usually sleep for like 6, 7 hours tops. I slept for like 10, 12 hours, I can't remember. And it was that night that made me decide to actually withdraw my name from the residency program. That was a couple of years ago. Now I'm applying for another country. I'm doing exams to get a certificate and, medical licensing in another country. So that was, I would say, a burnout moment for me early on in my career. I don't know why I shared this. Uh, I don't know whether it's gonna contribute to the whole ADHD thing, but I just felt like I needed to talk about this. I sought medical help, professional help. I went to a psychiatrist, and I told them that I think I have ADHD, and I think I am on the spectrum. And I had, the proper evaluation, and I did the 400 question test or whatever, and I did everything. And I had their evaluation. And I know I'm talking as if I'm not a doctor right now. I'm talking as if I am, you know, just a person, not a doctor. Not, well, that came out wrong. As if I don't have a medical background. And I like to pretend sometimes that, not pretend, but actually act because, act as if I'm not a doctor, because it is so tiring being the know-it-all, the one that you always talk to just because they have a medical question. They never ask how are you, or they never care about you as a person. They always care about a question that they need an answer for. And that's why I think when I'm recording videos, or whenever I'm talking about, an everyday anything that's happening to me, I tend to talk as if I don't sound like a doctor. So there's that. So I'm waiting. I think in a couple of days they're gonna get back to me and tell me the results, and they're gonna discuss them with me, and they're gonna take a consult from another psychiatrist. But up to this point, we are 80% sure that I am on the spectrum and I have ADHD. And the bummer is that I don't think there's any treatment available in my country, which is a bummer. We're going to explore that in a couple of days. Again, I'm waiting for them to, call me so we can do another session or something. And yeah, I don't know who's the audience, and you can see how chaotic this video is. I keep jumping from one topic to another. They are not related. They might be, I don't know, but that's a short, a glimpse into my fucking brain. That's how I do shit. I just, keep, if it's not a professional obligation, if I don't have to switch on my, pro mode when I have to disassociate from myself, and, because working is not related to your own problems. When I work, the patient is my main concern, and I have to be as precise and organized and as logical as possible to give them the best care. So my brain just switches to this mode that I wish I can switch all the day, all the time when I'm not at work. Because I'm very efficient. When I'm working, I am very efficient. When it's somebody else that I'm taking care of, it's just logical to me. It's just logic. It's never anything else. I'm never involved emotionally. I'm just logically involved. I mean, I care for my patients, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm not emotionally involved there, but I don't feel emotions. I understand them. I don't feel them. So it's very hard for me to say that I feel you. I understand you, but I don't feel you. I don't feel myself. I don't feel, well, I'm sorry. I don't feel myself. Okay, never mind. You get the idea. I don't feel the emotions, I understand them. So it's very difficult to, relate to situations based on feelings alone. I understand what you're going through. And I might have been, through a similar situation to yours. And I will be very helpful and I will help you. But I won't feel it. Even if I'm happy, even if I'm sad, I understand the feeling. I don't feel the feeling. Never have. And that was a main concern for me, that I don't feel the feelings. And I only realized that a couple of years ago when I withdrew my name from the residency. That was the only time that I had proper time, free time, that would allow me to evaluate things in my life. Because back in medical school, back in med school, I was so busy studying. You never, from the age of 18 till the age of 24, 25, like the years that you actually start to understand what kind of adult you are becoming, what kind of man you're becoming, or a woman you are becoming, or a person, whatever. That time I spent studying, I never paid attention to that. It was computer and technology and, and medicine. That was it for me. And sometimes the gym, sometimes. And when I graduated, I went immediately into work and again, learning more things and working. And even on my free time, I would maybe do some, extra work in another clinic or something like that. So I was busy, and the days that I wasn't busy, or the days that I had free time, I would do chores around the house, maybe work for my parents, my siblings, being there as a, firstborn, again, the oldest brother or the oldest sibling. You have obligations around the house and, for your siblings. And to be honest, I spend most of my free time playing video games or studying. So it's mostly studying, then video games whenever I can, squeeze time to do so. So when I withdrew my name a couple of years ago, I had a lot of free time because I have experience now. I'm not gonna study every single day as if I have graduated like a couple of days ago. No. I mean, all of the cases that I'm seeing are already cases that I know by heart, that I'm gonna treat by heart. I already know everything. So I have a lot of time now to reflect and understand who I am as a person and what is it that is not, clicking here. What are the things that are actually challenging me or preventing me from becoming the best version of myself? And I was shocked when I actually, realized that I don't feel feelings, I understand them. And I've spent, 30 years now, 31 years living, not knowing, understanding, not knowing. And I thought that's how people function. And the second thing is, I don't, if you're trying to work around emotions or, when you're trying to ask for something, but not directly, meaning you're trying to win my empathy and, get me emotional so I can help you. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. It's either you ask directly for something that you want, or I just won't understand you. And that led to so many misunderstandings throughout my life. That led to so many times that I have been taken advantage of. So many times in my life. And it really hurt me to only find out about, this, about myself, this late in life. I know it's better late than never, but still, I could have had, some guidance, some anything. So if you're concerned, if you are so busy in life that you have never ever had time off or free time to think about yourself and what is working and what is not working, what is not clicking in your head, what is preventing you from being the best version of yourself, what is actually interfering with your desires, interfering with what is it actually that you want. Please take some time off and reevaluate things. This time around, I am still applying. I told you I'm applying for the licensing in another country, and I'm gonna choose a residency program in my country just in case. I'm not gonna start it right away, but I'm gonna, secure a position in that residency program, and I'm gonna postpone the start date until I'm done with the other country's exams. And I'm gonna choose something that I've never in a million years would have considered. I chose something that I chose a specialty that deals less with patients and relies mostly on my own work and research and doing studies and you know, working around vaccines and infections and microbiology and stuff like that. I'm choosing community medicine. And it's looked at quite funny, to be honest, in the medical field when you ask someone, what they're doing, and they tell you that they are a community medicine or a community doctor. They would, give you the side eye. And my parents were the first people to actually give me the side eye, because to them, I am the firstborn. I am the trophy son. I'm the one that they usually show off. And the problem is, when you are an overachiever and a people pleaser, you tend to go above and beyond. And don't get me wrong, I'm very thankful for the past experiences and the achievements that I've done throughout my, career. I'm very grateful. And I've established a name for myself in my city, even though I haven't finished my, residency in orthopedics. But I was one of those doctors that had, that the head of department and the hospital itself and most of my friends knew that I would be that doctor, that kind of doctor, the A-list doctor. Because I am an overachiever and I'm a nerd. I study a lot, and I make sure that everything that I do is, the best. And when I left that program, my parents were devastated. And when I told them a couple of days ago that I'm gonna choose community medicine because, in my opinion, that would be the best fit for me, the best choice for me, considering that I'm on the spectrum, considering that I had a burnout 3 years into my career. Because I'm very good at in the ER. I work very efficiently, and people love me in the ER because I can get shit done very quickly, very efficiently, and very accurately. And I follow guidelines like a hawk. I don't mess around when it comes to guidelines. But it takes a toll on my mental health. Whenever I spend 48 hours in the ER, I go home and I, could have slept for like a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours a day, and that won't bother me. I won't be physically, tired. I would be mentally drained though. Very tired mentally. That's why I decided to live alone, because after a long shift or a 2-day shift, you just can't go home to normal, day-to-day tasks and having to put on a mask again, pretending that things are wonderful, that you're not tired, not that I haven't been pretending to be a persona that people would relate to, or people would actually find not strange or peculiar, rather than a, relatable, very fun guy. So when I go home, I don't want to be bothered. And what I noticed, that when you go home, people or your parents or your siblings, they don't understand that you have been masking your, yourself, or your, not emotions, but whatever this is. It's a face, it's a mask that I'm not that social. I don't like talking to people that much. I mean, I'm very talkative when there's like my siblings are around. I mean, if we're talking about something, then I'm gonna crack jokes and talk to them. I'm not that funny though. Trust me, I'm not that funny. But otherwise, in a general setting, like when I'm out with colleagues, when I'm out with people from work, or in a cafe, or in any situation, I am the quiet guy. I do not interact. I trust and believe I'll be sitting alone, not talking to anyone. I'd be listening to music, maybe playing on my phone, pretending to do anything. You have no idea how many times I've opened my phone and pretended to be doing anything just to evade saying hi to people. So I don't want to say hi, and it's a simple hi. And people, because you've been masking for so long, or because you've been polite, I don't know how to call it, people think that you are very approachable and very, friendly and welcoming, and I am those things, but I don't enjoy these things. I am 100% all these things, but I don't enjoy them. I don't, it's like I'm looking forward to go to work and saying hi to everyone, meeting my friends, and no, I just want to go there, work, and go home. That's it. It's not that I'm not friendly. It's not that I don't appreciate it. I like it when people approach me, but I like it when people approach me not expecting me to talk much and not pointing out that I am the quiet one. And I like people who are okay with me being the quiet one and not questioning it and not pushing me to talk or not, pushing me to interact with them. I don't interact with, most of the conversations that we would have with the residents and, colleagues at work. I'm the quiet one. And they would try to include me in their, in their conversations, but I shut them down very quickly. I would, nod my head, say a couple of words, show them that I'm not interested. And my cat is just being an asshole. So that's that. Yeah. I don't know what's the point of this video. I have no idea. What is the title of this video? I don't know. What am I supposed to call this video, to be honest? So I hope that some people might find this relatable, even though I highly doubt it. I mean, it's very specific, including, ADHD, being on the spectrum, being in the medical field, being firstborn, trophy, becoming a disappointment. There are many factors into this video, and I'm sorry if it doesn't make any sense, but this is, I don't know, I felt like I had to record this video. I don't know why, and I'm gonna post it on my channel, or on this YouTube channel that is usually there to post, gaming content, which is not related to what I'm doing right now. So it won't make sense, but I felt like I needed to say these things because, I don't know. I just needed to say these things, and I'm sorry if you don't like the video. You can, well, if you got to this point in the video, I'm very thankful, and I hope that enjoyed it. I don't know. So yeah, that's that. Have a wonderful day.